2019 was a bang-up year for sure. I'm kind of concerned how 2020 is going to turn out. It seems like with this impeachment hoax based on fees and things heating up in Virginia, the new bills trying to outlaw guns pretty much. Looks like they're going to try to do a gun confiscation of sorts. Guess we'll find out in the next month or so. Who knows what methods are going to use. So yeah, it makes me wonder. I've heard both UN troops and I've heard National Guard, and there's no real confirmation of either if they're going to do that there. I've been warning people for a while, and I feel we might actually see the Cascadia go off. The longest it's ever been without going off is 327 years. It's been 319. And methane bubbles coming up from the ocean. We got massive uptick in earthquakes, a lot of 6.0s up in the northwest. It just makes me wonder. We got a greater and greater polarization. No one's talking to each other anymore. You know, as a man that went his own way, kind of makes me wonder about those guys who, you know, are going to have others with them. If their odds are diminished or not, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if, in fact, they're going to be able to reduce capacity to survive. And then I looked at all the flooding I've talked about in the past throughout the Midwest, the early freezes, the hailstorms, and not just here. Wildfires raging in Australia, hailstorms and drought have wiped out much of their crops. A fourth of the pigs in the world have succumbed to swine fever that's spreading into the West. So are we actually going to see food shortages for the first time, or are we going to see a massive uptake in inflation of food, or empty shelves? It's funny how all this is kind of coming together at the exact same time. Meanwhile, Iran, China, and Russia have war game together. We got Iranian gunboats, 20 of them, following the USS Abraham. We're doing some strikes. Are we starting a world war? Or we lay the groundwork for a civil war? Possibly in the midst of a food shortage and a natural disaster. That's something we couldn't possibly fathom, be on a scale we couldn't imagine. So I have to admit, fellas, I'm not real optimistic about the events for next year. You know, I understand a lot of MGTOW prep. Another interesting story that I found interesting was there's a Muslim community police and squad cars that look like in New York police departments, but they're not. They're in Brooklyn and Staten Island right now. And one of the police officers grabbed a kid pretty forcefully for had him pinned on a wall by the throat, lecturing him, saying he was disrespectful to a Muslim woman. So this Muslim police officer was doing a white knighting. Well, he white knighted himself into a situation. The kid went home, told his dad. His dad happens to be a father, happens to be one of the leaders of the Bloods. And so a war's now started. created a problem in front of the mosque. Because the blood showed up. Well, they separated. There was an incident that day, but there was shortly after one that wasn't police got the hell beat out of him. I think he was put in the ICU. And I think this is just getting started because other blood sects will join in. And the neighborhood is back in the bloods. When I look at comment sections when I've seen these things posted, it seems like most people are actually back in the bloods over this. Because Muslims say they want to force Sharia law in those areas upon Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Who the hell goes into another person's country and just makes demands? But it's also sad that it takes the bloods, gangs, to actually do the right thing. Never would have thought I would have looked at them and go, huh, of all people. And doing what needs to be done. Anyways, guys, I don't know what your thoughts are for next year, but I think it's going to be about a lot of turmoil, a lot of problems. Anyways, I'm here at a store. I'm at my stop. I'm gonna pick up some beer, and once I do that, I guess I'll just head on home. But is there anything out there you guys are concerned about? Anything you're wondering about? Because right now my viewpoint of the future's not very good. Like I said, if I could get out of this urban setting, I sure as hell would. I'm going to be in the thick of it. The more liberal the town, the more dangerous it is in these situations. Because these are the people that rely on government services for everything. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Happy New Year. Yeah. We survived the last one. That's what I'm going to say. I survived the last year. Let's see if I can survive this next one. Same to you fellas. You have a good day, all right? Good night.